and my friends call.
Okay.
So that's
Hilarious.
very.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I just finished my session with my life coach so I could deal with all the low vibe shit and raise it up. And now I'm ready to go. And I told her I was doing this. I said, I'm so excited. I have questions. And and she goes, oh, I can't wait to hear about it. So she was really
Okay. Does she know about it at all, or?
a little bit. She said she's because she's in that realm, but she's never actually had a reading. But she was working with something soul retrievals or something. She had been doing some work with someone, and she goes, they use the book of life. I don't know if that's the same as the book, or if it's a part of the Akashic record. She goes, I don't know, but she goes, oh, I'm so excited for you.
Oh,
So,
goody. Okay.
so
Oh, goody.
okay. How is your vertigo right now? How are you feeling?
Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay,
It's
good.
over. It's done. I mean,
Okay.
it was very challenging, but it was more than just vertigo. So we all know that. So
Yeah.
it's just an integration of like energy that's coming in, and we're putting a name to it.
Yeah.
So Akashic Records, I just want to write it down so at least I have like I'm recording this, but
Mm,
you've never done the Akashics before?
never. Well, I take that back. I went to a like a psychic fair one time, and somebody asked. It was a one question thing that she would tap into the Akashic records. I didn't know if it was bullshit or not, but I asked her about whiskey. This was like a year or so ago, and she goes, "Oh yeah, he's just part of it." And I'm like, "What?" I don't know. I didn't get an answer. So
Okay, so you know what the Akashic Records are, but
I
I'll tell you.
yeah, please tell me because I'd like that on the
The,
recording too.
the Akashic Records are our libraries of all of our lifetimes. Okay, and what happens is it's past, present, future lifetimes as well. It's not only they always say past, 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 but I've seen the future of, because we are from the future, so we've already lived the future, so it's in the Akashic records as well. The ones that the records are kept within the magnetic grids of this earth, but it's also carried by the whales and the dolphins. They carry our records with them.
What?
I know. That's why it's imperative that they stay alive.
Oh my
Crazy,
God,
right?
that's trippy.
That's trippy too. I agree. That's why the whale is so close to the man, right? Like, because he's like carrying your records. Anyways, when I get into the records, I meet with the master, the teacher, and your loved ones. So your master has been with you for all your lifetimes. So he's a constant, right? He's always been there. And he's always been in etheric form. Your teachers have been with you too, but they come in the lifetimes to save your ass. Like let's say you're like about to jump off the cliff and it's not part of your thing. Well, the teacher will jump into a body and hold you back.
Oh, I just got the
I
chills.
know, but the teachers also like show up as the stranger walking down the street that says something to you that clicks, okay? Because you haven't been listening to yourself, you haven't, so the teacher will come into other bodies, boom, boom, and leaves. So it's really interesting. And your loved ones are there. So people that are died in this lifetime, but people who have died in other lifetimes. Because I've been in the records where your grandmother's here and they're like, well, my grandmothers are alive. And I'm like, oh, so it must be a grandmother from 5,000 years ago, right? Who's here to give you a message. So that's what happens. So you have to be open to every kind of scenario, because in the fact that you're in the Akashic records to start says that you have an open mind to start, right? Because you're willing to like uh, interact. I interact with people, whatever comes to me. So I'm going to describe to you when I walk into the records what I'm seeing. Most Akashic records people don't see, but I see. I see the things. I have conversation with the master, like it's like a connection. And then anyways, they decide. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
what you need to know. If you're asking a question that they don't want to answer, they will They will not answer.
Okay.
So be prepared for that.
Okay.
So I need, what?
So
What?
it's not just you going, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't want to know that it's them.
You're
Okay,
like,
I got
no, no. It's not me, like, no, it's a stupid question. Go on, no.
it. Yeah, right.
On your birth certificate, what is the name?
Laurie Ann Vines.
Okay. And everyone calls you Laurie,
Yes. Or Lol. Yeah.
but Laurie.
Lol. Laurie is my name. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So what I do is I do a prayer. And as we enter, before we enter the Akashic records, I have to read out a prayer. I'm not allowed to learn this by heart. And certain parts of this, I will be silent. I have to say it in my head. So, are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, let's do this. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth, as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, help me to know Laurie in the light of the Akashic records, to see Laurie through the eyes of the Lords of the records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Laurie have for her. The records are now open. So when I get to the end part, you're smiling, right?
Loving this.
When I get to the end part, it's usually when I start to feel the energy. The energy starts to open around me.
Mhm.
And I didn't even get to, when I was talking to you, help me to know Laurie in the light of the Akashic, is when I started to feel the energy. It was like, okay, let's open these records. I was like, all right, let's open these records.
Oh, this is
Right.
great.
So great. Okay, so let's go in. I'm in. We're in. A little addendum for you, because you're writing the book that you have to show me a draft in November, by the way.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you for saying draft and not completed, like
no.
published. I'm
No.
like, oh,
Even a few chapters,
Yeah, yeah.
The Akashic records, I used to open them to get creative inspiration and keep them open. So if ever, I think I told you this already, but if you ever feel like you need a push, you can tell me and I can open them for you, and then they'll just
Okay.
close on their own.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So this whole process is just me explaining to you the visuals I see. They might resonate, they might not. It's just like a very fluid process here. Okay. And you can talk to me, you can interrupt me. It's like a very open forum here.
Mm-hmm.
The first moment I see, it's a door with a big light, a white light, and a figure in it. So I don't understand who that is, because it's not the master, the teacher. Wow. Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
You don't know who that is? Think about
No,
it. It's Brian.
you mean Dan, the one who
Dan.
passed?
Dan.
It's Dan?
Yeah. Why did I say Brian? Who's
I
Brian?
don't know. Brian's my brother, my other
Okay.
brother.
No, Dan. But I don't see his face. He's dark. He's it's really like a figure.
Like a silhouette.
Yes. Silhouette. Thank you, Miss Ryder.
Mhm. Right back at you, Miss Ryder.
A silhouette. Okay, so why are you here? Do you want to impart a message? No. Okay. It's gonna be something later on. Interesting. He's just here. He's just saying I'm here. But there's no
That's
message for
cool.
you yet. Okay. So, and even the master is like, move along, and we'll get back to that. I'm like, okay. So that's why it's a bit weird for me sometimes, the Akashics, because I'm always like, it's just these like uh spurts of images, and it's like almost up to us to understand it, why they're here, right? So
Mhm.
the master's open arms, welcoming you into your records. Beautiful. He's so beautiful. They're so beautiful. They're so loving beings. They're all like, welcome back. Okay. And this is another thing that I just have to like stop my ego from getting involved, because they just said Huckleberry Finn. Does that mean anything to you?
I loved Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn as a kid, and along with like Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys and everything like that was a big part of my childhood. Yeah, and I felt very much like that Tom Sawyer-ish sort of a feel here at camp when I was little.
Okay. And it's a really beautiful book. It's like old, tattered, and purple.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks really like one of those old like books, you know? Anyway, with the brownish pages on like the burnt coffee pages on thing. Anyways, so why are they showing me this? There's a point to this, right? Okay, Huckleberry Finn. Did you read that with your brother?
Nope. I think more it was more about how what resonated with me the most about that book was the adventures. That there was always another adventure. And that's what I wanted
Did
was
you
that.
read Around the World in 80 Days?
Yes.
Okay, because they're showing me that too. That's like Figs or Finnegas or whatever his name is.
I think wasn't Jules Verne, I think. Was that Verne?
Oh, but maybe the character in it,
Oh, yeah, I
Phineas,
don't I
Phineas something. Yeah. Anyways, that's what they're showing me. So I'm like, okay. But it's very interesting because they're showing me a little part of your library, and it's all these books. And the master's smiling at me, and I'm like, okay, honey. Like, I don't get it. Okay. So, anyways, okay. So were you that child that read your books in the fields, like in the park, outside, anywhere you could be, against
anywhere.
in a
Yeah,
tree, da da da. It was not like something like only at bed at night.
no, no, I read everywhere. I loved it. It was always my escape.
I don't know why are they showing me this? So interesting. Because your teacher was there with you every time you read. Were you ever approached by animals or by people, or did you feel an affinity to the characters? Like, is there something that you're okay. It's okay. Did you like live the lives when you were there, reading
Did
them?
I live the yeah, I would be I would be transported. That's how it felt to me. I was transported. Every book that I read, not every, but most books I read would it was truly an escape where I could actually forget that I was in this human form and I was actually the character or a character in a book.
Okay.
That, that's
Um,
how I that's how
good.
I would.
So it's interesting that, and your brother is on the side here. I could see him at the corner of my eye, and he's just nodding his head, right? And then all the other like little beings of light over here are looking at me with like the fact that I should be knowing what's happening right now. Okay, and I'm
Hmm.
like, okay. So I'm trying to tap into their thing, but what I'm getting is like they're all nodding their heads, like like of course
Mm-hmm.
of course Laurie knows what we're saying, and I think I understand what it is that you're supposed to be writing adventure books.
Oh, okay. That feels good.
It does feel good.
It does.
Yeah. It's like your mind has always been um, um, ex- excitable, I guess, when you read this, right? They were always like this. But But the master is like going like this now. Come with me. I'm like, okay, let's go. We're going somewhere now.
All right.
We're going to continue this thing. Okay. Now he's bringing me into a parachute. What the hell, man? What are you doing? Oh, okay, whatever. Let's go in the parachute. No, not a parachute. It's a hot air balloon.
Oh, and I did that.
You did that?
I did that. And that isn't that part of that's part of the Around the World in 80 Days,
Yeah,
right?
okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, interesting. But now he's giving me a key and I'm opening the box. It's in the hot air balloon. And he's like, look inside. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking inside. Oh my God, it's like all Alice in Wonderland. Now it's like, oh, it's so interesting. This is so cool. This is the coolest Akashic records ever. I'm like, okay, let's go down the rabbit hole. Okay. Did you like Alice in Wonderland?
Loved it. And also another book that keeps coming up is and it came back to me somehow. It was so strange. You remember that book, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, or The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Hmm.
Right. Well, that was C.S. Lewis, and I've been thinking about him and thinking about him, and also this other book called The Secret Garden, and it's all the places where you rub a knob, you go through a door in a closet, and you go into you go into the real world, the real crazy, exciting, not matrix world is if you just rub a something or go through it. It was all that whole there's more, there's so much more. And every book that I read where there's more, you just have to open that door, there's more behind that. That's how I feel right now.
Well,
I'm
like,
like, what's next?
I have goosebumps on my body because as soon as you had said C.S. Lewis, the master was like looking at me and winking at me. And I'm like, okay, and I let you finish talking. But C.S. Lewis, do you feel like you have a connection with this man?
Yes, and I'll tell you why, because I was thinking about this. I'm going, what is it about this lifetime? What is it that and I'm like, I know there's more, know there's more, know there's more. And I kept thinking about that book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And then I went into my hairdressers because I just needed to pick up a product. And I was like, oh, you've got books here. It was this whole like somebody had taken it for they wrote a book about how all the meanings behind The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Hmm.
And what C.S. Lewis was trying to tell us. And I just picked up this book about a month ago. It's been in my pocket, in my bag. I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited to read that now that my life has calmed down a little bit. So I'm curious to see what I'll learn from that.
Yeah, you'll learn from that. But also I feel like because you have a hand in the writing of it. So that's what I'm trying to get. Like, they're showing me all these books, but like children books or whatever. Not like C.S. Lewis is not children. It's like adult children books, right? Kind of very deep. And when I said C.S. Lewis, they're like, "Meh." I said, was she C.S. Lewis? Because he died in this lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no. I said, was she like related to him, like the family, whatever that means, and they're like, somewhat. And I'm like, so, you know that we jump around in parallel lifetimes, right? Kind of ish, whatever. Okay, we're really jumping around all the time, and that's why sometimes we feel lightheaded. We have vertigo because probably Sabrina is in another lifetime, right? Another happening in the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And she picks up something and she brings it back here, like you do. Like, so what I'm trying, this is really weird. It's okay. Listen to the Akashic record.
Love it. I love
it. Throughout your lifetime, you've jumped. So have you suffered from vertigo?
I have in my lifetime.
Dizziness, lightheadedness. Okay. So that in their world, in the Akashic records, it's not vertigo. It's not like, oh, you have water between your, it's not, because they always laugh at me every time I bring it up, because I brought it up and then they're like, look at me, no. That's because you're jumping. So you get off balance, right? Like, so what I understand right now is that you jumped, like, this is so strange. Like throughout, even as a child, you've jumped and into C.S. Lewis's life, but not him, but you were around in discussion about his books.
I love
That's freaking amazing.
that. Is amazing.
So like that's why your mind is fully creative. It's always fantasizing, or always you're always open to even what Sabrina has to say. But you're always open to things because you're like, the possibilities are endless for you. But you, as a child, what I'm seeing is that were your parents very like strict a little bit with you?
My dad was very he was very strict.
That he held you back a little from your creativity? It didn't feel like you could like fully express yourself?
No, that no.
Yeah.
Dismissive.
Wow, this is really interesting. Okay. This is so cool. Okay. Anyway, this whole point here, and even your brother who's come out of the shadows, is like, she needs to write this kind of books. She needs to stop worrying about the camp. That's what he says. And do these books. Like, just write these books. And the master's like, she came here to write. And I'm like, I'm like, are we, that's why we met? And they're like, yes, because you could collaborate one day with Laurie. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
I just got the chills. I absolutely know that you and I were meant to meet in this lifetime. It's so effing clear to me that you are part of the tribe. I mean, yes, you're a soul sister, without a doubt.
Totally. I agree with that. It's not about me. It's about you. So you're like, have you thought about this? Like, you need to do your love story here, but have you thought about ever doing fairy tale books or children's, or not even like,
but messages in it, like young adult messages, like, because I always wanted to impact that age group, the 9 to like right after you talk about how through age 7 or 8 we're our most creative, and then society gets to us and we're squashed or squelch, everything is like, and I always wanted to hit that like 9 to 11 or 9 to 12 sort of preteen age where I felt so empowered when I read these books. I'm like, I could be anything. There's magic in this world. And that's what I wanted to write about.
yeah. So it's like, I love when you talk to me. You're, it's really hotty here in Montreal right now. It's like 90 degrees. It's insane in that brain.
82 right now, and I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that, but this one is like, okay.
Yeah.
So every time you speak, it's like your master is aligned with you. I don't know if you in this session, do you notice when you're speaking, there's you have a like an energy next to you? No? Pay attention. Because as soon as you speak, he's like, and says something. Okay, like there's like an alignment. It's really beautiful. Because as soon as you said, I feel like magic, we went right away. He opened the door in the records. He said, come with me. Like, you were talking and I was like going with him. And we show up. You've ever felt like you were a witch?
Yes.
But you weren't a witch, you were a wizard.
Really?
Okay. That's so same thing, but you're masculine, right? It's kind of cool. And but you were like interesting because you were in charge of the spell books, which is a huge thing for the witches, right? Is that book of spells. That's their Bible kind of thing, right? So I see you and you're like writing the spells and you're in a special attic. You're in this attic, very closed off from the world, but there's like light coming in. I see the whole attic. It's really beautiful, actually. There's like, it's like old wood. There's peaks of sunlight coming in. And you have candles everywhere, and you were very secluded and recluse and very a sought after wizard because you had the book.
It's fun.
So fun. But what the master is showing me is that you always kind of had lived a life of fantastical life, which is like the elementals, like you work with the elementals a lot. Do you feel that? Like
When you say element,
fairies, the fairies, you feel connected to the fairies or unicorns or dragons or mermaids, like those are the elementals.
mermaid, yes. The rest probably no. I hadn't really connected. I don't feel connected to them.
Which is funny because you're in the woods.
Yeah,
You never see fairies?
no. But what I do, maybe I'm the fucking fairy, because what I do is my big thing here at camp, and I'll spend my own money to do it. Won't be camp money. I put lights everywhere outside, all solar lights. They're all over the property. I can't wait till nighttime happens and all the lights turn on, and it's just magic to me. So I create the magic here with that piece of it, and I love it. I love it. All different types of lanterns, everything. It's so fun. So
do you like sweets? That fairies like sweets.
all right.
You ever
Great.
thought, like, for me, every time I go into the forest, I always leave like sweets that are like healthy, kind of, that are not too sticky, and I leave them on the ground for them here, and then they come and they get them, they leave.
All right. I can try.
Yeah. Because that's a gift to them, saying, "Hey, I'm open to you. Here's a gift to you. Come and get it." And everybody's like, "Oh, the squirrel came and get it." Whatever. I was like, "Whatever you guys could think, whatever you want to think, it's okay." Everybody's thinking. Anyways, there's this. We're going back to the wizard now. Spells, concoctions. Are you like you did a lot of herbal things? Do you do herbal stuff at your thing? You should.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have
Actually,
the eye. You have an eye to do that.
huh. I do spell jars. I've done spell jars before, and
You have.
sorry, I have a bunch of stuff for that. Yeah. I played that. Then my life coach she's like really into that. So she's like, she sent me a book. She goes, have fun.
Yeah.
Here's
You
a
have to be careful with that. So, yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, just like love,
Yeah.
like support, love, for that sort of thing.
Burn the pink candle or whatever.
Yeah. Like this. Like I came back from my trip. Well, I made this right after my brother died, and it says "Live and Let Live." It's just something I picked up. It's got like a marble, has a candle in it. It has the rosebuds from Utah, because there are all these roses I brought back, and it has my lavender I grew last year, and and there's a whole thing in there that's written, and then I burned the candle on top. So
And what does that do?
it for me, it was just it was like a ritual. It was just felt just I was trying to just feel the love of my brother, everything. God, I'm gonna start crying.
Cry. Cry it, cry.
Yeah.
But your master's like, why do you think she feels the affinity to spell jars? I'm like, okay. It's pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
You've been like it's like what they're showing is this long lineage of wizards and witches, but also different kinds of like shamans, like so many. You've come life after lifetime learning traditions like this, like ritualistic practices, right? Like you just said. And it's like you have a long lineage of this, but it's like that's why Laurie's so open compared to her family and compared to the people in her life. And it's true, right? If you think about it, even your kids, you're more
Oh, yeah.
like open to whatever and whoever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a kind of beautiful thing to carry.
That it, you
A lot
saying
of
these,
information though. Do you have like every time, if you ever looked into shamanism, do you ever get, oh, I know this already?
it's more like the Native American stuff. Like I can, like, or the, I used to envision that if I simply touch someone, I could heal them. You know, like heal, take their pain away. Like I sometimes I play with it. Just I'm sure it's doing nothing, or maybe it is.
Why? Why you
I
saying
don't,
that?
because I'm a human and I'm thinking, how can that possibly be?
Yeah,
Right?
allowing
Right?
you.
So my head goes there. The ego goes, all right, come on, who do you think you are? You know, oh, we can heal that guy right there. Well, look how much light look how much his face is illuminated now. Did I do that? I think
Yes.
it was, you know, and I feel like so what you're saying is resonating because I feel like I was a healer or something somewhere along the line or something like that. When I was watching Outlander, which is this show,
I know.
whatever. Oh, you do? Okay. Well, you remember there was this one character in the show who had come from the present, and she was a witch. Like she was considered a practicing witch, right?
Mhm.
But in fact, she just knew a lot of things from the future and kind of made shit happen, right? But I'm like, I identify with her. Like she's the one in the whole show that I identified with. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. And that's powerful. It feels powerful to have people come to you and say, heal me,
Mhm.
help.
The thing is with you is that, and what I'm seeing is that your whole life or your many lifetimes that you've been on this earth, you've never been an outward healer. You've never been a healer that was like selling her healing to people. Like, you know, like they're showing me the medieval times. They're showing me like way back in all kinds of different ages, and they're always like showing you like in a little room hidden
Mm-hmm.
from the world kind of thing, or like in a cave, or like they're showing me all like you were always like recluse about it,
Mm-hmm.
but people came to you. They found you in that forest. They found you at that attic. You know, it would be like secret messaging. You need to, you know, and then you were the healer.
Hmm.
And it makes sense to me because I always think that as a light worker, we wanted to hide our light every lifetime, especially the lifetimes where we came in where like death was like a no brainer. You just kill someone on the street kind of thing. You would be like, okay, I'm not gonna show my light.
No,
So that
no.
was like you took it to the nth degree in like the majority of these lifetimes, but you have the gift of healing. But the master is like it's more than just your hands. You're gonna freak out right now, but you're gonna listen to me.
Okay.
It's your eyes.
Wow.
That's like beautiful. I've never heard that before in my life. It's your eyes that heal.
Wow.
And do you find, Laurie, that like sometimes you avoid people,
Yeah. I
avoid
avoid,
looking at people?
I'll wear my sunglasses if I don't want them to connect with me. I just, I feel like I'm an open book. So that's why I try to hide sometimes because I feel like I am. I mean, you know, I'm an emotional person. So it's not like I hide how I'm feeling. I'm either fucking pissed off or crying, you know, it's like, or laughing or,
But let's look a little bit in your like when you're pissed off, let's say you're yelling at your sister. Oh no, or your sister? Yeah, you could be yelling at her, right? Who would
more
you
my,
yell
I, my
at?
ex-husband, let's say
Okay, let's say you're okay. How did he react to your yelling?
he got angry too.
Okay, so every time you did get angry at people, did you find that their level of anger or rage or sadness or whatever elevated?
Yep.
That's your eyes.
Oh.
Dude, that's like huge. That means your eyes if your eyes are the healers, and if your eyes are enraged, then you're heightening the frequency of the other people automatically.
Wow. I understand.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Intense.
so in turn, then the kindness could come through, and that could have that same elevation. Okay.
When you say that you can heal someone, they're like, yes, you can. When you're in that state of peace and calm and like kindness that you said, and graciousness, it's the effect is not just the person that you're looking at. The effect is like wide.
Okay.
But you
That's
have that effect on that singular person, is what they're saying. So be mindful of this, because some people, it's just their hands, and they have to warm it up and put their hands. But it's like literally direct eye contact, which is really wow. What?
So couple things. One, when I was I was 16, I was working in a diner, and this man, and no one, when I was a kid, no one ever said anything about my eyes, nothing ever. And my eyes are my eyes, right? And this guy said, "What does the world look like through those eyes?" An old man in a diner said that. And I go, "What?" And he goes, "The life must look different through those eyes." And I said, no, and he goes, they're so incredible.
Yeah,
And the thing is, not one. Hold on, it's something. And no, send a voicemail. I had a phone coming through. Sorry about that.
I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine.
So a phone call was coming through apparently. So he is the only person at that in my young age that has ever said anything to me. And then when later on, for after my second husband, who first husband said nothing, second husband said nothing, and then I started dating this guy who was like, "You have amazing eyes," and I thought, how come no? Well, how can I have amazing eyes if nobody has ever said anything? By the way, you have amazing eyes. You have incredible eyes, Sabrina. You have intense, awesome eyes. Awesome eyes. Just want that said.
Thank you. Footnote.
There have been other people who have sensed. And so I always wondered, I'm like, so do people not see it, or is it intimidating? So I'm thinking, because I know that, I don't know, like maybe my eyes are, I also have one droopy eye, and I think the whole eye thing is a weird thing for me. So, but yes, I see especially with men, I see how they respond when I'm chatting with them, and they're looking at my eyes, and they've got this big smile, and I'm like, okay, all right, I don't understand, but
okay, continue. Go.
So there's this old man who's 75, and he fancies me. He's local. He fancies me. He's the road commissioner. Can't read or write. It's just I'm in the woods, and I noticed that he calms when I take my sunglasses off, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's just he just wants to see my eyes, but I think it's because he fancies me, right? And then we're made. He's also, I think he has lung cancer, and God has called me to him to help advocate for him. I know he has. So that's a curious thing too that I have questions about too. Like, why am I being called to these people? I am being called. I don't have a normal life anymore, Sabrina. Other than like me traveling to Montreal, my life is not normal. I don't just go socialize with my friends anymore. It's not easy for me to do that. It all feels very mundane now. And so I go, okay, where am I called to go? Okay, you need to go back to her. She needs you. You haven't seen her in a while, and she's dying. You comfort her. Go to her. And then same thing. Now I'm like, okay, am I called to this old guy now? Like, am I called to this other man who just died? Am I like, why does this keep happening? I'm being called places.
What does that bother you?
when I'm in resistance to it, yes. There was one that just the other day, a high school classmate of mine died. And so I went to the funeral. I wasn't close to her. A lot of my other, none of my friends were going. I'm like, why am I being called to go? I don't understand. And they're like, I hear your voice. You're either dropping off codes or picking them up. You are being called to go there for whatever reason. Maybe somebody's seeing you there. It'll provide comfort, or maybe you'll pick something up and learn something for your own grief, for your brother, for your mother, whatever it is. So I figured that, so I've been listening, and that's where I'm doing. I'm like being called. And I'm like,
Is it challenging for you? Like physically or
no,
emotionally?
no, because now I feel like I'm not empathetic anymore. I'm more like, I don't take on people's stuff anymore. I used to take on their stuff. I used to own their,
Ah,
oh, I've got to fix this. I've got to, instead of just being compassionate and being with them in whatever they're going through. So it's like, just in the last month, things are shifting. As I've finished up work here a couple weeks ago, I can turn back to these other people and say, where am I needed? But then the rest of the stuff, I feel like I'm like, so now it's so important for me to stay centered so that I'm not tipped over, so that I'm ready to be a vehicle for wherever I'm called. And that sounds fucked up to me. It sounds weird when I say it to my friends. I feel like I'm some, like they think I'm some, they haven't. They're starting to get comfortable more with the language I use, but it feels like I'm just this weird person now.
you are, and welcome.
Thank you.
But also,
So,
you're not weird because you know what's going to happen, Laurie, and I'm going to tell you this outside of the records. What's going to happen eventually to all of us is we're not going, everyone else is going to start to look a little like towards us because things are going to start to make sense for them in their brains. Whereas us, we're already elevating. We're already like, we're past that. You can't mingle anymore. Like we can't do the small talk, and it's like so silly. Like, how's the weather? What are you doing? I can't do it. It's like there's so much going on, and there's nothing going on, kind of thing. It's just like, but there is obviously, like we're,
yeah.
but yeah, it's almost like continue being unapologetic
Okay.
because you're doing like God's work, kind of thing. You're doing a great work here. Like we're not here to do the man's work, right?
No.
Woman's work or whatever these people want us to. We're doing something much elevated. So in that, like if we take Jesus, right, which is our brother, if we take Jesus, him too, he had to do some sort of work here to like, he was pinned to a cross because of it, right? So we won't be, because people are a little bit more elevated now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have to be okay with being a bit on a different plane than everybody else. But you're not alone. That's great. I want to tell you this, when you were talking when you were 16 years old and that man said something about your eyes, that was your teacher who walked in. The teacher, the teacher came right away. I was like, that was us. I was like, all right, that's good. So that's what I'm saying. You're never alone. Those moments when someone comes to you and says something and it's like, wow, surprising or even jarring sometimes. You're like, is this you? Is this like, my soul? Is it a fractal? Is it like my higher self? It's a yes all the time. And your I don't, have you had itchy eyes recently for the past years? Like in the past few years?
No, not itchy. No,
Like
no.
not like feeling like something is moving in your eye?
Yes. Like, oh, that's weird you say that. Because I've actually asked my siblings, my sister, I'm like, is my head shaking or my eyes shaking? Is my eye shaking? And she's like, no, I don't see anything. And I'll run to the bathroom to try and see if I can see my eye. It's weird. It's so freaking weird. And I'm like, do I have Parkinson's, or like, is something weird?
No.
Yeah.
So
That's so,
the tremors, like I feel them in my skin. They're like, she should have already felt them in her eyes, and she will continue her eyesight you'll get like a 360-degree vision eventually, where you can see it behind your head, literally. Who the hell is standing behind you? It's like awesome, man.
That's cool.
That's cool. Because that's your thing, eyes, which is so interesting. Your eyes are the healer. So you're being called when you like when you were talking. I mean, when you're talking, they're listening, right? So it's like we're all a family here, right? So you're talking, and every time you were saying like, "I'm being called to this," and and the master's like, "She needs to calm down." I'm like, "Let her calm." I was like, "Let her calm." Okay, she calm down.
Oh, that's real. So what? You got to
And it's
nudge.
like your presence that's all is necessary, right? Because you, like you said, and then you were saying the codes, and they were like, exactly. Because this is something I want to tell you. I only realized this weekend, by the way.
Okay.
When my sister died, she lingered on the planet for a bit, but then she integrated into me. So I had a big like a panic attack a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna see you, Vanessa, because you're inside me. And she's like, yes, no, you're not gonna see me, but I'm in you now. Like my mother's inside me. Like, so everybody who's dying, like Dan, will eventually like integrate his codes into you. Like that's the whole point of us here. And we're attaching ourselves to the physical vessels of everybody, right? But we're here to, like you went to that funeral to integrate codes. Doesn't matter why, who, what, doesn't matter. You did it. You came, you went. And your light heals. But yours in particular is with what I'm getting is that you need to do one-on-ones. Wow. Oh my God. That is amazing. Oh my God. I just like, these guys are amazing. Okay. So right away, as soon as I said you have to do one-on-ones, I don't know who it is, the master, the teacher, someone in there is like pointing towards the books. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So I just got a flash. When you're writing a new book, you're healing, you know what I'm saying? You're, how do I say this? Your words are mirroring the vibrations of your eyes. You understand what I'm saying? So when the person reads it, heals. You hear me?
That's really cool.
That's
That's
so cool.
very
So
cool.
so I just got a message. This is really cool, Laurie. This could be like a whole different project for you. When you get called to go see your road commissioner who has lung cancer, to that woman, write down with your eyes and words a poem or a quote or a let live life or whatever you want to write, but write it, looking at it, fold it, and give it to the people.
Okay. Okay.
So you know what it is? It's like, it won't freak people out. Like basically you're a remedy. You know, like instead of like, here, go get the prescription at the pharmacy, it's like, read this. That's the remedy.
Okay.
That's
Wow.
huge.
That will,
And that
that's
is in a way that people don't have to like, they just have to feel good about it. Oh, wow, thank you. Read it and put it on your mirror. Read it every day with your intention of healing them, right? Sending healing vibes. Because at the end of the day, if someone's supposed to die of lung cancer, we have to honor that, right?
mm-hmm.
But if you can, like, maybe they have lung cancer because of something else, and you can help them, then.
Okay. I like this. This is really, really awesome.
This is so crazy. Okay, what else? Well, is there questions? What are the questions you had?
So you already sort of answered, you actually answered one, which was what are the similarities in my general pursuits across all my lifetimes? And it sounds like it's healing or doing some sort of healing work.
Yeah.
If that's similarity across all of them, or not all of them, but is that
Yeah.
no, but Yeah.
Give me another
So,
one that we could see like what else
oh,
comes up.
all right. So, um, you and I have already talked about this before, but what is my lesson regarding my daughters? Can the records answer that?
Yeah. So your daughter Lily and
Yeah,
Maria.
right.
Okay. Okay. What we answered that in a card reading?
Yeah, you did. You had done, yeah. So I'm curious to see what the records, like if there's anything.
Okay. So Lily, what is the connection? Why? That's so interesting. Okay, I don't remember the reason of the cards, but
It's,
Lily is here to show you that you have empathy.
hmm.
They keep saying empathy to me.
And that's funny. I just said that I'm trying not to feel empathetic towards people.
Oh, that's so
I'm
interesting.
trying I'm trying to feel just compassionate, not take on their stuff. And I think of empathy as, yeah,
But
you really feel their,
yeah, but that's not what they're saying.
okay.
Lily was brought to you. The lesson is that you were to learn how to be empathic towards yourself.
Okay. That makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, it does, because it wasn't until she came around that I realized, oh my God, what about me? And what about my needs? And it's like all of a sudden I went from being a small child to having a child myself. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, but I never got my needs met. How do I do that now? And I have this kid. So that it put the focus back on me, as crazy as that sounds. But that's what I started to feel like, this doesn't work for me. I need, what this, I don't want to do motherhood. This sucks. This is, what about me? What about my sleep needs? What about? So,
It's interesting. Okay. Let's see what do you want to see where you're going to move forward with her?
yes, I'd like to move forward with her.
So interesting. Do you have do you feel distance from your daughter? Like do you feel like she's just your daughter?
Yeah, she's just my daughter, but I don't have a connection. I don't feel a connection to her. I know.
Because there's no connection from the past with her.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, because aren't there?
She was brought, not everyone, no. She was brought into your life for the reason to, like you said, for to turn inwards. And then I said, are they gonna like have a life together? And the no, Lily is moved away from you,
Oh yeah.
and she'll continuously move away from you, but Laurie has to be okay with it. And at one point, Lily will find her way back to her mother, but you'll be in another plane already. So you'll reconnect, but it won't be like it's it's challenging for me to say this to you. I'm sorry, but like it's like it's okay. You'll be okay with it. You'll understand her why you were there, and you brought to her like you brought her into this life, but you're gonna help her at the end.
Okay.
She's
And
the,
I and I am okay.
you're okay
Not,
with that?
yeah, I am. I like, Maria's gone. I mean, it's been almost 3 years now since I've seen her. But Lily, I definitely, she's pulled. And I'm okay, because I'm like, we don't talk the same language anymore.
Mhm.
We don't she doesn't see how I see things, and I'm like, what am I doing? And she just uses my granddaughter, and she goes, "Oh, Maeve misses you so much." I'm like I'm supposed to run down and see my grandkid when you don't really give a shit about whether I'm there. So I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm just going through the motions.
Mhm.
And that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm going through the nan emotions. I'm like,
Yeah.
do I
It's interesting
have
you bring up Maeve because then they told me about Maeve, like I didn't remember her name, but the grandchild is there to help your daughter
oh, I love that.
reconnect with the grandmother, you. So it's almost like you did your job, right? Kind of thing. Lily rebelled most of her life, right?
Yeah.
So now you're like rebelling, I guess, like in a way, like you're saying,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna take care of me. Maeve comes in, says,
Mm-hmm.
take care, like it's all at a soul level. Maeve is talking to Laurie, soul level. I'm gonna take care of my mother now. I'm gonna get her straight again, kind of thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
at one point we're all gonna reconvene and meet up again. But now is not the time.
And I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I do feel a connection to Maeve. Maybe it's because she's an Aries also, and she's full of life. Oh, I love her energy.
But
And
you talk to her.
yeah, she's only 4. I mean, so
Oh,
she's
okay. She's not
lit.
fully talking.
No, oh no, she is. She's highly articulate. I mean, her. I don't understand how she has the language she has. It's a miracle. Like, but Lily's like, no, we just always talk to her normally. We didn't go. Ooh. We just talked to her normally, so her vocabulary is huge. So she is. It's pretty cool.
Do
It's
you
pretty
talk
cool.
to her like on
Yeah,
a
just like
weekly?
nope, nope. Because my daughter, she's like, so
Uh,
I'm like, oh, that's the way it is. So it is okay. Like it's almost like I appreciate who Maeve is, and I tell her, I said, you and I are going to go on great adventures when you get older. I go, we are going to have so much fun, and she gets all excited about just magical stuff. I always present magical stuff to her. Like I'll give her a box that's empty, and I'll say, what's inside? She goes, nothing. I'm like, oh, you don't see what I see? I'm like, hold on. Oh my gosh, look at all this love in here. Let me just put some on me. You want to put some on you? And she's doing it. So now an empty box has something, even though she can't see it. So like I love that stuff. I love the creativity, the imagination, so I know that like she and I will connect when she gets older too. Like I think.
As we talk, as you are talking, like I said, there's a whole peanut gallery next to me here, and you're talking, and they're like, and everyone's like clapping their hands and like, oh my God, look, this is Laurie. That's what we're talking about. The creative, like the magic box, nothing. This is what she needs to write.
Okay.
You understand? Like there's
Yeah.
nothing about like I already just saw a book about that. The book, the box of nothing, of magic. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, like it's just so clear. And then they're like, yes. I'm like, okay. So interesting. Maria.
Yes.
Okay. You and Maria go back a long, long time.
Mm.
You feel that?
I feel like we must have some serious lifetime history for her to be not connected with me at all anymore. There must have been some big stuff that happened in past lives or something.
Yeah. Let's see. What do you want to tell me? Which one do you want to tell me? Okay. Wow. Like, okay. I don't understand what the hell is going on here, but okay. First of all, they show me prison, and then they show me Africa, voodoo. So really deep things. So Africa voodoo makes sense to me if you're a healer in all your lives, right? So I'm like, do you have an affinity to Africa or like
I have that is on my bucket list. And the other piece is that when I was divorcing her father, Maria's father, because he cheated on me. So I was very angry, and he would have bouts of gout, and with a big toe, it would be very painful. So I took Maria's, or maybe it was Lily's too, the kids' Play-Doh, and I made a figure, and I was sticking pins in it, in his foot and in his penis. But yeah, I was sticking it in, and I would ask him, "So how's your gout been lately?" And he's like, not so good. I'm like, "Oh, that's too bad." Going, "Did I fucking do that? I hope so, man. I hope."
totally did that. Hilarious.
So, but I did do that. I mean, I wasn't thinking straight at the time, but because I was so distraught. But I found myself creating this thing and putting needles in it.
Voodoo
Like,
master.
yeah. So when you said voodoo, I'm like, fuck. Somebody knows that I did that.
Yeah, we all know everything. Yeah, that's
Holy,
one thing. They know everything. And they're just bringing it up. But they're bringing it up for you to understand that it's not something like I never did a voodoo doll. I put like fucking my boyfriends like this, right? Because I didn't have that. But you did.
yes, I did. And now you know this about me. So
So
how do you feel?
now I know you're, oh my God, I'm gonna be nice to you all the time. No, okay.
Wow, it's like great.
No time for it. But it's really interesting. So what has to do with Maria? Let's see. They keep showing me that you threw her in prison, first of all. You threw her in prison, you threw her in prison. But it's like where and why are you showing me that? Like, why is she a prison warden? No. Oh, I almost feel like I feel like my Maria, what it's showing me is that she was troubled even in this lifetime, that lifetime that they're showing me, right? Like you had to put her in prison to tame her down, kind of thing. You had to like you were a healer in that Africa time, and she was a healer, not a healer, but a like almost against you kind of thing, and you had to bring her down kind of thing. So in every single lifetime, you've always had to tame her.
Oh.
But in this lifetime, you're there again, but you're not. Ooh, that's interesting.
But yes, I have tried to tame her in
Oh,
this
you have?
lifetime because of her psychiatric disorders. She
Yeah.
would be volatile and violent, that I'd be like, you have to be on medication. You cannot live like this. This is not safe. And she tried to kill herself many, many, many times. I mean, not really try. I mean, obviously she would have succeeded if she truly, truly tried, but there were 9 hospitalizations for psych stuff. So I did try to control her and bring her down again, like
And it
to
didn't work.
and then she just, and then so that's when I set the boundary here, and I said, until you heal, you can't come back here. Until you do something,
So
you
you,
can't come back.
what is she doing now? Like, is she okay where she is, or?
I know she's still alive, and I know she lives in Waterville, which is a town 15 miles from me.
Oh,
And I don't know anything else at all.
like the fact your ex doesn't know anything?
I don't talk to my ex. I don't talk to my ex number 2, her father. I don't talk to him at all. And my third husband, my George, doesn't have any contact with her either. And Lily, they said they rarely even text, so she doesn't have any contact with anybody in our family.
Okay, let me like understand this here. Okay, so this is a taming. Okay, so in this lifetime, what was the purpose of them together? Wow. Okay. Stop texting.
I'm not. I was writing. Taming Maria.
Okay. This is a big one. Maria's a big one for you. So yes, you were supposed to repeat this in this lifetime. Like she was supposed to have like be a problem for you, which she was. But you will reconnect with Maria in a very deep, profound way, and it will be with your eyes.
Okay.
So you will heal your daughter. So what the master is like, when she's ready to look Maria in the eyes, because that's on you. That's like maybe carrying a guilt, and you're carrying a whole bunch of thing, and you can't look at your daughter's eyes at this moment, is what I'm getting from them. I don't know. That's how you're feeling. When the moment you do that is the moment that your relationship heals again.
Okay.
It's gonna happen in this lifetime.
Okay.
And like it's like she'll come to you. But it makes sense to me because, you know, as your frequency rises, as you get like more in tune with who you are, everyone will come back. The magnet will be too strong for them not to come back, because you're going to exude such a like a high frequency. Right now, your frequency is triggering to everybody.
Yeah, it is.
So you're triggering Lily, Maria, you're triggering your family, probably triggering everybody around, right?
Friend.
You will completely trigger, because they're very much lower than you frequency wise. So it's like, but as you rise, and they will rise.
Okay.
Will always be a bit more, but if their frequency rises a little bit more, then they'll have more understanding towards you. But it's like this is a you trip right now.
Okay.
It's an all you thing. And you need to like continue listening to those words when we're nudging you to go to see someone. Do it. Don't think twice. Like even when you're resisting it, like they just go for it. Like we don't even need you to like spend a lot of time. All you need is 5 minutes. They're like, it's like that's all she needs.
Okay. I like that. I want to stay centered so that I'm available to do that. I feel like that's important for me to do that.
And also, I'm getting a message from a teacher of yours who's been in your life in the past few months, who's come in, to say that you're too busy.
Oh,
Are you?
It's waned now that the camp opening. It was something. It was just physically, it was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. The worst.
The worst is over. Yeah.
So the worst is over, and as soon as I came back to center and got enough rest, and my body recovered from all the work, and emotionally, blah blah blah, first guest came and went, it was like immediately God's like, okay, now you need to go visit Sandra, you need to go to that funeral, you need to go and help that lady get her husband's dead ring off of his dead finger, dead hand. But my friend, she's like, I think my husband's dead now. Can you come over? And I'm like, well, you come over. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead. He's pretty fucking gray. Yeah, he's dead. Well, can you help me get his ring off? Oh my fucking God. She's handing me cream and I'm pulling. I'm like,
oh my God.
And she goes, do you think he's dead? I'm like, he is 100% dead. I am like 100% certain he is dead. Okay. I go, should we call hospice? Do you want me to stay with you until? She goes, no, I think I'm going to keep them here for a couple days. I'm like, oh, I'm out.
I'm out.
See,
bye.
My job is over. I got the fucking ring off. I'm like, I'm out. But I was called so clearly to be there for whatever reason. And I welcome it and I'm excited by it. But then my ego gets in the way and it says, what do you think you're doing? Why don't you just freaking go out with your friends? Go do something normal.
Okay, I just got a message, which was insane. Okay, I got like goosebumps from head to toe. How long was that man dead for?
He only been dead for like maybe an hour.
Okay, you were called not to pull the ring off. You were called, this is the message I got. You were called to try to open the path for his soul to go. Like you were there to open his doorway, kind of the staircase.
Oh,
Like, you understand? Like you like he was stuck because his wife was holding him back. So come, Laurie, take out the ring was like him, like, come and help me here. My soul is trapped because my wife wants me. So you had to release the trap. Just fucking
I
beautiful.
can't say that because a few days before he died, I went to go see him and he was hanging on. And she's like, he's doing so great. He's really sticking with us. Fucking let him go. He wants to go. And so I leaned over and I just whispered and I said, it's okay to go. Let go. It's okay, Bob. I'll keep an eye on her. And he goes, I know. And then
Oh,
he was died a few days later, but a couple days later. But she was like, oh, he can't leave me. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking intense. Let him fucking go. He wants to go, but
how
who am
interesting
I?
that you're around a lot of death
I
recently.
am around a lot of death, and it's drawing me in, and I'm curious about it. I'm like, should I do hospice? Like what? But I don't want to commit to hospice. I want it to be what's in flow. What's go there now or come here. I don't want to be. I don't want to have a job. I just want to keep. Where am I? It might be five, like you said, 5 minutes. It might be somebody at a store. It might be. I need somebody to feel seen. I see people. I see them, and I don't know what it is, but I'm like, that person's hurting, and I'm like, I can help. It's like I can help. And then ego. Oh, who the fuck do you think you are, girl?
Yeah.
You can help.
But as soon as
And
you hear that, then you know to shut that shit down.
okay, okay.
Because you are here to help. Why would you even have that inkling to help or to heal? Okay? If
Yeah.
your ego is telling you're an idiot, then who else? It's not your ego telling you you're a healer, right? It's your soul. So, like, this is the time right now, Laurie, to really get um, uh, honest with yourself and say, you know what? Yeah, I can heal them. And yeah, you can like make fun of me, and everybody can make fun of me around me, and they think that I don't have a degree to heal, that I can't heal, but just do it. If you feel it, do it. Because me too, I walk into places, I literally know I'm healing. I'm like illuminating the room. And everyone, oh, it's because if they're thinking I'm vain, it's because they're vain, right? If they're thinking it, then it's because you're. So to me, when you tell me these stories, it's so beautiful. Like, wow. If and the best thing to do to go to someone in a supermarket and say, hey, I see you. That's all you need to say to someone. They can cry for like hours because
Mhm.
most people are not seen or heard like
And
us.
that,
But I'm
it
gonna
was,
tell you a little message I got as soon as,
okay.
because I said there's so much death around you, and like someone from your peanut gallery came in and said it's because she's in transition. So you need to like, this is so freaking beautiful. I can't even, I'm gonna cry. You are witnessing the physicality of your transition into a higher frequency.
Oh, whoa,
With
whoa, whoa.
right? So that's what it is. Like the more people you see dying, it's don't see it as a bad thing because it's actually your shift into like who you are as a soul. And it's
Wow.
just a physical consequence, So you're killing people so you can go higher.
Yeah. What,
Okay.
whatever it takes.
But that's what I see that humanities. When I see death all around me, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm shifting. Or where the light needs to shift. So we're shifting, and that's what happens. That's the consequence.
Okay.
And you have to honor it. Thank you, Bob, for, for your journey here on this earth.
I like that a lot. It is weird, but I have started writing about my interactions with people and how I felt and how I saw things transpire. I met this woman at I just started having to take a daily injectable for osteoporosis. I have severe osteoporosis according to the doctor, and so I have to inject every day into my stomach or thighs. Right, just this little tiny needle. I was very worried about it. I've never self-injected anything, and so I was very concerned. I went to the rheumatology office the other day, and I went to the counter to meet with the nurse, and the receptionist was not there, so I was just waiting my turn. This other lady was there with her caregiver. She was nonverbal, in a wheelchair, and she was staring at my bag, my black bag, and it had the bags in it from the pharmacy. And her caregiver said, "Oh, Alicia really loves bags. She's curious about what you have in your bag. She always empties my bag out." And I looked at Alicia, and Alicia saw me,
Mm.
and I hadn't felt seen in a while. She saw me, and so I knelt down and I sat, I was on one knee, and I was Alicia, you know what? I'm glad that you want to know what's in my bag. Let me take the things out that are in here. And I'm showing her, like, oh, this one has the needles in it, and this is this, and they're going to show me what to do with it. And I'm so scared about this. I'm so nervous. And I'm like telling this nonverbal person, and I'm holding her hand, and she's squeezing my hand. And I was like, I don't know if I helped her, but she helped me, and she didn't have to say a fucking word, and she just kept smiling and holding my hand. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, she was probably 30, 40 years old, 35 years old. And it was amazing. And I thought, okay, she did this to me without saying one word. One word. How powerful is
But
this?
how powerful are you to have felt her soul? Right?
God,
That
yeah,
was a soul to soul connection because there was no words.
it was awesome. So
I
I got,
love these stories. You're so amazing.
oh, thank you. So, but I've started to write the stories now. I've started to write the interactions and what it felt like, and just everything. So I'm thinking maybe I need to. That's what I need. I need to write about all these occurrences I have with these people,
Short
so
story.
that it all comes together as something that's, I don't know, like it'll morph into a big story or something. I don't know.
Yeah, write it down. That's
Yeah.
all. Write it down.
But I did start writing after I think you did the Aries reading or something. There was some
Yeah.
reading like, and my friend who I know is like blah blah blah. Oh, right. And I'm like, right. I'm like, all right, I right. And I just picked up my computer one night, and I go, I don't even know what I'm gonna write. And I'm kind of like, oh, like that. And then all of a sudden it started going. I'm like, oh, where's this coming from? It was so awesome. I'm like, all right, I just need to sit here and do this once in a while. This is good.
Yeah.
So thank
You're welcome. Anytime. I was laughing when I said it. I was like, yeah. Okay.
you.
Yeah, I have a message for you with your daughters to
Okay.
do like that, to do that. So, when you say to people, like what I just told you, when you say to people, like, thank you for your journey on this, you can say that same thing. Thank you for your journey so far with me, Lily, but in your mind, like
Okay.
just say that to everyone in your life who is not fully in your life, that's not participating in your life,
Okay.
because it's like it's stronger than you think
Okay.
energetically.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. All right. All right. This is a question I have. Is this my last lifetime as a human?
Oh, that I can answer that without the records. Can I do that? And they're like, yes. Yes, this is the last lifetime that everyone has. This is
Yeah,
our last lifetime.
You said that, and I don't understand. Is it truly this is the end of
This
this
is
is
the
what?
end of the experience, the experiment.
Okay, okay. Because this is the last one for me. Like I feel like I don't want. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to come. Like not that I have.
Also, like, sorry, sweetie. But our life, like, I am convinced, like I say, I'm convinced I'm immortal, right? Because I
Okay,
really truly don't believe I'm gonna die, and I keep even your Akashics are like, yeah, you're not, right? I'm like, yeah, I know, because that's the way I see it. I see that this is like, so every child here is gonna live till as long as they want to live, and then they choose to leave. This is a human experiment, Earth. And then we're
hmm
going to go on to another experiment.
okay. So another planet.
Yeah,
Or,
planet
okay.
and do something else. That's the way I see it, and like I'm getting confirmation. And like I've always asked the Akashics. It, but they're like most of the time it's not important.
So another thing is you talk about, I don't know if it's you, but I've heard of people talk about star seeds and light workers and Lemuria, Muria, or something like that. What is
Okay.
all that? Like, I don't understand
That's
that.
the beginning of our civilization.
Okay.
When we first came in, we all came in as a pod. And we came in, and it's the Lemurian civilization.
Okay.
So we're like if they put labels to us, we're Lemurians. So in Lemuria, we were all working together to create this earth. You know, I have visions of me in Lemuria as a light being, not fully human yet, like working on things. And Lemuria is the Pacific Ocean, up like Hawaii, like around there, Canada, like the US, but not the US, not the eastern side, like more the western side, and all like Australia. That's like Lemuria.
Okay.
And at one point, a pod of light workers in Lemuria were fed up of the everything. Just they needed change, so they created the Atlantis, another land, Atlantis, which is the east coast all the way like Africa, even high up Europe, kind of. That's the idea there. And
Okay.
what that happened with that, like Egypt is a big part of Atlantis. They they introduced power, status, all of this control.
Mm-hmm.
Lemuria was not, it was about peace and freedom and all, like it's what we had envisioned Earth to be as the pod. But then there was like a faction that said, no, we're going to change this shit up, right? That's the way I see it. And then we're going to bring in hierarchy, and we're going to bring in this. And ancient Egypt is part of Atlantis. But what happened with that is that Atlantis fell. Because the frequency was so low, the density was so low that we landed in the fifth dimension. We had come in the fifth dimension to stay there. Mother Earth was going to sustain itself in the fifth dimension. But Atlantis like, no, we don't like this. So they fell that part. So that Atlantis falls to the second dimension. And now we've been trying to raise ourselves. So we got to the third dimension, and most of our lifetimes have been in the third dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get back to the fifth dimension for Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is a seventh dimensional sentient being, but she decided to lower herself to the fifth dimension so that we could hold humans. This is an experiment of light in the physical vessel and like human beings. It's like only an Earth thing in a planet.
Mm-hmm.
So Atlantis fell and it brought down everybody. It collapsed everybody. So we all fell to a third dimension, and we've been moving our way up back to the fifth dimension. Does that make sense to you?
It does. So how does somebody know whether they're a star seed or a light worker or a whatever
So
else?
Darcy, light worker, way shower, light bringer, all these things is the same.
Oh, they're all the same. So they're not
We're all
different.
from stars.
Okay.
We all come from different star systems, right?
Okay.
But it's not like It was important for us to know at one point, but it's not like, as I evolve, I realize it's not important anymore. It's like, it's too much information that's not important. But I could find out where star system you're from,
I'd like
apart from
like
the
that.
questions. Because they don't like giving us this kind of stuff because it's not important to them. They're like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah. So I did have that. Where did my soul originate?
story. Oh yeah, like totally. I didn't even have to look at it. Of course. You're from Lyra. Okay. Lyra is the felines. But
We
Lyra,
had,
Lyra,
I had a ferret as a when I was in my 20s, and my husband and I named it Lyra, Lyra, right?
yeah.
That's what we named it.
Oh,
He was totally new age crunchy shit too. So wow.
did he know?
I I I don't know. I don't know.
That's so
I
funny. But
okay. So
the Lyran civilization, that is doesn't exist anymore. They're all, it imploded or something like that. But they're huge. There's a whole bunch of Lyrans here on Earth. The majority are Palladians, which you hear a lot about, Lyra and Syrians from the
okay.
Sirius star, the blue star. The Christ lineage comes from the Sirius star.
Okay.
The Lyrans is like huge as well, though. They're like the 888 portal, like the 88 portal is a big one for you guys.
You just gave me the chills as soon as you said 888. I'm like, yep. I don't know, like something's hitting me right now. I don't know what's this is awesome. Fucking awesome.
But also just know that it's a past that we don't want to hold on to and attach. It's just fun. It is fun
Yeah,
to know these
fun.
things.
Yeah.
But it's a past that we're not there anymore. We're like, we are evolving into like more like advanced beings, but it's fun. Yeah. That's it. The Atlantis felt like so that's why when I blame, like I say, there's not someone else that did it to us. Like, that's why you watch these channels, like no, it's you did it. We did this to ourselves because we
Okay.
got like curious about, oh, let's create hierarchical systems, right? Ancient Egypt, where we created gods and goddesses,
Mm-hmm.
praised the gods, and we looked at the people lower than us, but we were all light, playing out roles. But really, if you want to know too, there's only 140. This is where it kills everybody. Okay. There's 144,000 OGs is the original light worker.
Really? I've heard
Only
104,000 many times with twin flames and everything like that, but I don't understand it. I'm
we
like, how
came
can
in, we came in at 144,000.
that was it?
That was it. And then we fractalized, and then we had lifetimes, right? We had lifetimes. So we fractalized into like, and we had children. So it like became bigger and bigger. But right now, there's still only 144,000 that will remain at the end. And all the fractals are going to die. So that's where like it becomes very challenging for the human to like, oh my God, what if I'm a fractal? But it doesn't matter.
Because we're light in. I mean, we're
We're all light anyways. We're all souls, because every single soul on this planet is here knowing that, that they chose to die at 42, they chose to die at 7 years old, they chose to die because they just wanted that experience, and that's it.
I do believe that now. I didn't understand it before, but I absolutely, like, hands down, people get cancer, people die, in utero, it's whatever, it's all okay. It's
And
all
it's
just
honor these people's journeys. Like,
right.
we have to like, we have like because the funeral business is one of the most disgusting businesses out there. It's so disgusting. I can't, it makes me throw up in my mouth, but it's a fucking 3D thing. It's like, here, put down thousands of dollars on a box that's going to be buried in the ground or two, so I can burn you. Like,
Isn't that? Oh, I think it is too. I think it is. We were getting Danny's ashes, and I'm just going to sprinkle them everywhere.
yeah, good.
But another question I have is, Have I ever been in union with my twin flame in
Oh,
any?
okay. I was waiting for that. I was like, okay.
It was gonna be the first
Like,
question. I'm like, Laurie, come on. There are other things
yeah,
other
I was
than
like, the first question I asked before you came in is the first question is gonna be about whiskey, and they were like, no. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
it was right there. Yep. I didn't say whiskey. I said twin flame.
Yeah.
So
Okay. How many lifetimes has she been with her twin flame? Okay, well, okay. Which lifetime did she feel like she needed a twin flame? Okay, stop screaming. 3 only.
only 3.
Which is pretty amazing because that means your soul is super strong. It only felt like it needed to divide 3 times, which is pretty, like, you understand, that's what it is. Your
But
twin.
yeah, but I thought that it was divided forever for all of eternity. Oh, so some lives I have not split off or whatever. Oh shit. Okay, and I didn't understand that part of it. Okay.
So every lifetime you come in, you're like, okay, I'm ready to, I think this time I need like more support, which we haven't gotten, but anyways, we
No.
need more support, or we need to like, well, or maybe we need to rectify all these areas of our life. So our twin has to deal with that one and we deal with this one, but it's really the same soul.
Mm-hmm.
So
So I
anyway,
get
what?
double the experiences in a lifetime is what I get.
Yeah.
Because I feel over there doing his thing and he's going through all of the experiences he's going through and has in his life.
But you're transmuting those energies and you're feeling them in another way. Because if whiskey is like in pain, if he's on a battlefield in pain, you are gonna feel it in another way. In that instant. That's why like people with twin flames, I did. I thought it was like, woohoo, it was so amazing to have a twin flame. But now I see it's not such a great thing because I am in the process of transmute. I'm trying to figure out my own shit. And then all of a sudden this like anger comes out of nowhere, or this sadness, and then I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. And the 9 times out of 10 is this twin flame that's experiencing something that I'm feeling directly into my soul.
Do you ever go in and say, hey, now, what have you been pissed
I
off about?
I do all the time. I always do. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Are you like getting upset at your family or something? Because I can't. I do it all the time.
What kind of reaction do you get from him?
Sometimes I get like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm like, oh.
But he's making the connection that you're picking up on it, right?
Yeah.
He gets what you're saying is that
his higher self gets it, right? It's my higher self talking to his side. The higher self talk, but now that I'm a little bit more connected to my higher self, I hear the higher self. But I went to see him like 2 days ago. He's completely disconnected from me. He has no freaking idea. So it's like, I don't know. It's gonna be a challenging one. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's not about me. So whiskey.
Yeah.
You want to know what you were in the past 3 lifetimes?
Sure. Yes, please.
So the first lifetime. That's so funny. I guess I don't talk. I talk with because I know, because they're like, you nailed it when you were talking to her about the example. I said you were both here at war the first time. So you in your contract, you decided that you wanted to go to war. So you decide to split your fractal and have your twin flame help you through it. Interesting.
Yeah.
But you were a man, so he came in as your woman. Interesting. Oh, he was your nurse. because you were injured. Jesus, I see it all. Like, it's so crazy. And you met like that. And then of course, because that's what Laurie wouldn't have to do with writing. And then you were pen pals for the longest time. Oh my God. Your pen, like, oh my God.
That's what we became this lifetime. That was it. It was no chat. And yeah, it was pen pals. It was almost all words, just words. Wow.
I'm like freaking out. Okay. Number 2 lifetime, because the third one is now. Number 2 lifetime is. Okay. That's so weird. It's so random. I don't even understand what that means. Your twin flame appeared in the middle of your lifetime. And this is funny. You are a motorcycle, like part of a gang.
Okay.
You were.
I was a badass, apparently. Okay. We'll go with that.
And you had like a massive accident. And you're in the hospital, and and the masters here is like your higher self brought in your twin flame to help you. It's so interesting to me.
Yeah, both
Always
times.
as a healer, like a doctor. So oh my God. So you're always been healers, you people. The nurse, the doctor, and now Laurie's the healer with the eyes.
Oh my.
This is interesting. So now you see, he's healed you in the past too. And now it's your turn.
I said to him once, because he suffers from PTSD and he has a hard time self-regulating when he gets to a certain point, and he has nightmares, like horrible, like night terrors. And I said, what if, like, I couldn't believe I found myself saying these words to him. Like, again, thought the ego was involved. I'm like, what if just being in my presence calmed you? What if being with me healed you? And he goes, that would be really nice.
But
Is all it was. But I found it curious that I was even saying those words. And now, after all the things that you've just talked about, I'm like, wow, was I kind of playing with that to see if,
you were not playing, you were saying it for real.
because honestly, I do believe it. And then again, like, oh, these women who are like thinking, oh, I can heal my man kind of thing. I can help him get, but I really felt like all you need to do is be with me. You're not going to have those terrors anymore. It's all going to go away. It's not even going to, it's not real. It was, that's really strange.
Yeah.
So does the record show like what you've shown me in the past, which is that we'll be in union?
Eventually, but not now.
Oh.
And now it's like almost I think what the records want to show you right now is that you have a lot of time to do, like work. You have to they want you fully integrating, but really trusting yourself. And all your past lives, the healing is almost are in your eyes. Like you're the eye of the world kind of thing. You're the eye, you're the eyes. Like that's huge. The third eye, like everybody has a hidden third eye, but yours are your eyes.
This is mind-boggling, Sabrina.
It is. It is. And that's why the Akashics, you really have to let it like flow, and then you can come back and listen to it and you're like, wow, or listen to it right away or whatever, but don't but what happens now is that I close some records. Like I'll close the wizard record, and I'll close like wherever we've seen you, so that you can be at peace. The voodoo record, the prison record, like all these will start to close so that you're put to rest. Like, like you were that, it was great, but now you gotta like fully integrate, like it's like let it go so you can move into this new.
Okay.
Like trust yourself. Like I think the most important here is really trusting the words that come out of your mouth, your head, whatever, all the ideas, the fact that you feel all these things, that you're there to help and heal people. It's
That's
not in your head. It's for reals, for shizzle.
for shizzle. Yeah, I just need trust.
You need a confirmation. Like your brother's back in his silhouette in the door. It's interesting. He was out and now he's back in.
I love you, brother.
Yeah. What else?
There's like you did a reading for me recently, and you're talking about, oh, I think somebody younger is going to come in first before whiskey, so that you can have fun and you can know what it's like to have fun again and be just enjoy. And recently, that 75-year-old man, he fancies me. He wants me take me to out dancing.
Oh,
I'm probably going to go to the
yeah.
American, go dancing with him. He's a freaking good dancer. He showed me his stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, buddy, you're out of my league. He also has COPD and probably lung cancer, so he has a hard time breathing afterwards. But so when I called out to the universe, or maybe ask the Akashic records this, because when I called out to the universe, I said, I need help. This was 2 weeks after Danny died. I'm like, I need help. I can't do this here. I need help. I didn't feel supported by Brian. I didn't have the physical strength to handle it. And I cried out to the universe. I'm like, please send help. I don't care what it looks like, but I need help.
Oh.
And the next day I meet this guy, the 75-year-old. I knew him because he's local. And he's like, hey, I'm sorry about your brother. Sorry about your brother. Didn't know him. I'm like, that's okay, Carol. And he goes, but if you ever need anything at all, you just call me. And I'm like, no, people say that, but And he goes, and I mean it. And I mean it. So I took him up on an offer. I reached out to him and I said, we really need a trailer. We got to bring all this brush up to here, and these limbs are so big, we need a trailer, and we don't have access to our brothers anymore, or his wife won't let us use it. And he goes, sure, no problem. So he comes down the road with a guy named Jake. Jake is 46. Jake looked like a mountain man, with a big beard and everything. And my golf cart had also died, and I use that for the compound here to all the stuff I have to do. I need it. It's a tool. And we had not taken care of it, and there was bad gas in there. And Mr. Jake is sucking it up, spitting it out, getting it going with the gas. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, mountain man, like, I'll do anything. And I'm like, Jesus. And so every single time I asked Carol, Jake would come, Jake would come, Jake would come. Jake is amazing with animals. He is a whisperer of sorts. It's very weird. And so anyway, he's come around a lot. And he shaved off that beard the other day. And I'm like, fuck, he's very pretty under that. Ooh, I want to have sex with that man. Like it. And I'm 59 years old. There's no way I would have ever looked at a 45 or 6-year-old guy, right? Never. But I'm like, he and I are connecting. Our eyes are connecting. And I'm like, so what is the purpose of him other than getting me going here? Like, what is the purpose of him in my life? Is he going to be my fun guy or what?
Was he a Marine?
No, but both of his sons were in the military. Yeah, Marines, both of them.
Wow. I wrote down Marine.
Oh my God.
That's fucked up. Okay. Jake. Hottie Jake.
Hottie fucking Jake. Yeah.
Wow. Do you feel something? Do you feel like you can go further with it?
Yeah, whether it's temporary or not, it almost doesn't even matter to me. It's just like I know I can have fun with him. I know I can go off and have experiences with him. I'm not just talking sexual, but I'm like he
Well,
he
I
he held.
got I got
Oh,
soulmate.
really?
I did,
Uh
like right
oh
away. So let's see with even though I shouldn't be using that, but they know me. So
yeah. They're like, okay, it's all
yeah,
right,
whatever,
Sabrina.
Sabrina, you do whatever you want. I'm like, okay. Soulmate. I get a very nice feeling with him.
Yeah, I like his energy. I
Very
asked him, I said, am I seeing your authentic self? And he says, yeah. He goes, except I get really grouchy. And I go, yeah, I do too. I avoid people when I'm like that. And I said, because I can't be nice. I don't pretend to be nice. And he goes, yeah, me either. And I said, it's a pleasure to watch you, Jake being Jake. That's what I said. And because it's true. It's like, I just like watching you do your thing, whatever it is. It's just nice.
wow. Romantic, companion, past life. You have a soul contract with this guy. It's like he's come in for your life for a reason.
So I'm
Are you
wondering if
gonna pursue it?
I have invited him to do more work here. I'm like, what else can I pay you to do
Gonna
for
pay him like a prostitute?
25 bucks an hour? I don't know. Does that include sex? I don't know. I'm not going to pay for that. But I'll pay for you to do my work here and then we can hang out more. And he keeps saying, I want to cook for, let me cook for you. I'm a really good cook. And so he'll bring stuff over to grill, pigs that he's slaughtered himself, just things like that.
Yeah.
I got a freezer of meat. I'm like, okay, bring your freezer of meat over. I'm like, but it's not just him. It's always Carol too. And Carol's the one who fancies me, according to Carol.
Okay.
And so it's just all kind of funny. It's curious.
He's divorced
Yep.
and
Yeah.
he lives in your area, obviously.
He does. He actually he separated, or he and his wife divorced about a year ago, and he needed a place to stay, and he ended up staying with Carol Bubar, who
Oh,
happened. He just happened to, whatever. And now it's summertime, and the two of them both have campers down by the lake. Not this lake, but another lake nearby. There's a lot of lakes around us, and so that's where they are now. They're just living in the woods by a lake in a camper. Each of them have their own campers. It's just kind of a like, what's happening? So I've
Carol
gone.
and Jake are not related.
No, he just considers him my old friend, the my mentor.
Oh, nice.
No, yeah. And Carol's been sick, so Jake takes care of Carol when they're not on a job or whatever. They do physical stuff.
So my what I'm getting for Jake is to let things to flow. Don't
Mm,
um don't think too much about it.
except the sex part. But you know what I have done, Sabrina? And I, how they talk about the Kundalini and all that business, right? So, and I mean, I'm not shy to say this, but I masturbate frequently, and because I have very high drive. And after I left my husband, my drive went through the roof, and then I had nobody to do anything with. I'm like, oh my god, I've never masturbated so much in my life. But since meeting Jake, in the last 2 weeks, I have not at all. And the
Oh,
energy that is filling up in me is insane. It's crazy. And so I've said, okay, where can I use this and creatively? Where can I take this and energy that I don't know what to do with right now and put it into something? And that's when I started writing again or started gardening. I started like doing certain things that I just didn't have this, I don't know.
writing. Put it into writing. Write a nice little erotica novel, short, and give it to Jake. You like want to read this?
Do you want to reveal what I did say to him the
Oh,
other
you
night?
read it.
I said, I, he said, well, he goes, thank you for having us because they came over here and they said, what an amazing place, he said. And he goes, an amazing company is what he said. Amazing company. I'm like, okay, is he flirting with me or what? And then I said, thank you. I said, I'm so glad it was everything I needed. It was everything I needed, is what I said. And he just wrote, I can't, period. I can't, period. I don't know if he was going, oh, I can't. Like, I can't believe she just said that. Like, maybe he was thinking something and I said something, and then he's going, oh, I can't. And then he goes, wait to move more rocks. It's like he broke up the sentence. And I didn't, because one of the things here was he was going to do something for our shoreline. And I said, I'm not paying you for it, though. I said, if you want to come and stand in the water on a hot day and throw rocks back up onto the shore, you come anytime. We don't have guests. You're welcome to come move rocks. I'm not paying you for it, is what I said. And he goes, okay. So he said he would come back and throw rocks. So anyway, but I said to him, I told him, I said, I'm a writer, not published yet, but I'm a writer. And I found myself curious enough about my new friendships, him included, that I found myself writing about it. And I said, and even found myself paying attention to the fact that you have an aura that's amber, and it's not something I'm familiar with. And it was curious to me. Like, it comes, I can see it all around him, right?
Wow.
It's beautiful. And I'm like, and it's very sexual, right? And I go, I had to Google it. I didn't explain what it was or anything, whether he did or not, I don't know. But I actually said, I found myself curious enough about your aura to Google it. I'm like, it's kind of weird.
What did he answer?
He didn't answer to that. He didn't answer to that. So I don't know if it was like too much or whatever, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I felt it, and I noticed it. I'm like, I don't talk about auras. Like, why am I talking about auras? Like, I don't talk about auras. It's not my thing.
You feel comfortable to do it.
Yeah, but I felt comfortable with him, whether whatever. But an amber aura was really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm like an orange, right? Or you
Yeah.
see the yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A more orange,
Wow.
brownish.
Sexual energy.
Fuck yes.
Sacral chakra. It's like,
Yeah.
all right. So that's a possibility.
So do the records have anything else that they would like to share with me?
With you?
Yeah.
That's all you
Like,
did.
like with is there something that like I've missed that I should know?
Okay.
Any final thoughts or?
There's like I don't know if your mom is here.
Oh, hi, Mom.
And she's like, but she's saying something which I'm like rejecting, but I'm gonna say it. It's like she's saying, you're my favorite, you were always my favorite. Were you? Yeah. And I always knew you were gonna go places. But she literally wants you to like I've just seen the hot air balloon, the plane, the train, like a whole bunch of transportation. She needs you traveling more. Is that something that she liked to do, is travel?
She wanted to do more. She wanted to do. She was afraid. She had dementia later in life, and but after Dad died, she did want to start. We went to Ireland, and so we did some trips, like road trips and stuff. We were always
like she wants you to continue the trail.
Yeah. So what we were, she and I, Thelma and Louise. That's who she goes. She goes, we're Thelma and Louise. Whenever we get in the car, we're Thelma and Louise. Like, she thought that was the cool. Like, I'm like, Mom, they drive off a cliff at the end. You know that, right? And she goes, we're gonna have so much fun. Like, it was always like going.
So that's the message. It's like your mom is really present, and she's like, I want her to travel more, to be more adventurous, like to do the things. It's almost like a culmination of what we saw at the beginning with the books. So
Yeah.
Traveling while you like writing while you travel, like everything is really beautiful for you.
It's amazing.
But I feel like there's like I know what I'm getting from, even from your brother a little bit, it's like the camp is nice, but it's not yours. Like, it's not where you need to be fully.
I feel that way now too. It got really, really clear to me this time coming home and being away in Utah and coming here and coming back. And I'm like, this is not where I need to be anymore. Yeah, I'll do this and I'll work the business, but I know I'm not meant to just stay. This is too mundane. It's already happened.
Yeah.
I already know how the summer's going to go. So I'm like, no, we've done this now. I want to do something else. My life is short. I know it. All right. Does the Akashic, could it tell when I'm going to die? No, they won't.
They won't tell you that, but I can ask, but they're not going to tell me. But when is she going to die? Tomorrow? Oh, okay.
Fuck that. I'll smoke the weed
Hey, hop right over right now.
then. Mom would be like, let's party. My cousin up there, she's like, come on. But yeah.
No, they're not going to tell me. But you have a long life.
Really? They said, really, I have a long life?
Yes.
Well, good. I'm going to keep living. I'm going to keep living. I'm going to keep living the life as though it's my last year. I'm going to keep doing that because otherwise, you get complacent. I don't feel like I could possibly get complacent right now though, because I'm so jazzed up with what's next. What's next?
You just try not to tell your cells that it's your last life.
Okay.
Right? Don't say I'm living, it's like my last life. Your cells are gonna be like, okay, we're gonna live like it's your last life. No,
meaning last year or last life?
Last year.
Last year. Okay. I won't say those. I won't. Okay. All right. I can appreciate that because that might shift things. So
yeah, you're shifting things that are not necessary.
Okay.
It's already like a set in stone. Like I know that the people in my life that are around me are there for a long haul. If the ones I've recently connected with, we're in it for the long haul. We didn't come on this earth to do a short life. We came in it for long.
Well, now I feel like now that it's clearer what my purpose is, I'm like, I got work to do. As far as I'm like, if that's the reason I'm here and I'm being bounced here and here because that's where I'm being guided, then what's next? What's next? I'm going to meet somebody who happens to live in Montreal and read a book and wrote a book that just blew my mind and spoke to me like so much that I got on a plane, although I could have driven, and come to visit. But like old Laurie wouldn't have done that.
Oh no.
She would have said, your brother's sick. Don't go to Utah. Certainly don't go to, he's laying there. It's not long. I still got on that plane because I knew that I needed to be with you. It was so clear to me. It's like, even if I saw you one day, I needed to connect with you.
So we did. It
was powerful. And it was powerful that I was with you the morning he passed.
Yeah.
The day that he passed, I should say.
But he's good. You need to know that, right? Do you know
that? I believe it. I believe he's with my family. Yeah.
They're in the light. They're basking in the sun. They're enjoying their lives while we're like worried about everything. Sillinesses. So I want to go back to something you said, like your sister-in-law didn't want to lend you the trailer. Why?
She said that her excuse was it's still in Dan's name for insurance, and even though he's given it to me, we haven't switched the insurance. So if you guys do something with it, we need to physically be there, and we're not going to be. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's
weird, eh?
We do not have a good feeling about her.
No.
And we don't. Something's not right there. But it was my brother's. It's the result of my brother's choices in his life, and that's nothing that we have any control over. So
yeah. Okay. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's close the prayer.
Okay.
Talking. Whew, that was a big one. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen.
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 Sabrina, that
That was crazy.
That was insane.
That was nice. It was so beautiful. So interesting how everybody's records are so different. I love it.
That was fun. Oh God, I'll certainly recommend that to people I know.
Yeah.
So I don't even. So are you going to send me a bill, or what is the total amount, and I'll or whatever we.
I think it's $295.
Okay.
Just you can whatever PayPal or.
Okay, PayPal. All right, I'll take care of that today.
No problem. I'm not worried.
Yeah,
And
well, no,
how
you're
are
not. Your money will just continue to come, even though you're not sure. So you didn't just allude to, you shared that your contract with the folks over in the Ukraine is stopped or ending.
Well, ending, yeah. It's like diminishing.
Yeah. Oh, the work is waning. So you're not getting that much at all.
Right.
So like they're done. It's just they don't have a lot of work.
Exactly. And like it's funny because I went to see my father, my stepmother, and they're like, you should get a job, you need to get a job. And I'm like, yeah. And like I'm like, no, it's just not where I'm being pushed towards, right? Like it's every time I ask my higher self, should I go get a job? They're like, absolutely not. Like you need to fully trust this, Sabrina. And I'm like, it's like tell
Yeah. Well,
um,
because you've got your apartment, you've got your just living expenses. I mean,
yeah.
and we're not even talking about getting crazy about doing stuff,
Oh.
just
Just the basics is like I need at least like $4,000 a month, a week, a month.
a
So,
month. Yeah.
yeah. And it's okay. It's like I've been doing it since November. It's like happening. So it's kind of interesting to me. I feel like I'm in this place because I've always had money in my life. I've always like generously dispersed my money to people and then never returned, even lent money and it never came back. And it's like a test almost like, okay, we gifted you money and then you decide to give to everybody else, right? And now you have to keep whatever it is. You just have to trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't see the gifts. We're like, oh, it's okay. Anyways, right? It'll all happen. What do you
I,
feel?
I appreciate what you and Katerina have created on both of them. I mean, they're you're I think you're helping people. You're helping me remember.
That's good.
Like you're waking me up to things that I'm like, huh, yeah, that resonates. That resonates. I haven't thought of that before. That resonates. It's good. It's
Oh, good.
good. You guys, and the thing is, the way you dialogue, I truly love the evolution from where you guys started
Yeah.
and how it was a little bit awkward because it wasn't just you. It was like you were having to interact, and you're like, I have a lot of things to say, and she's like, let me get in, and then she would carry, and you'd be like, but I have something to offer on this one. So it was funny seeing that now where you guys are at and how you process things.
Oh, good.
It's fun to watch. I feel I actually sit here with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a cocktail of my weed, whatever, something. I'm sitting here and I feel like I'm sitting in a room with the two of you.
Oh,
I
good.
said, Lise, I go, she goes, I go, oh, this podcast I've been listening to with Sabrina and her friend. I said, it's good. It helps you figure stuff out. And I said, I totally want to go to Montreal and hang out with the two of them. That's what I just
Oh,
wanted
yeah. Oh, that's so funny because I had an Akashic last week with a girl that lives in Milwaukee, and
Mhm.
her name is Lynn. And I always tell her, talk about you. I'm like, one day I want you to meet Laurie because I really feel like we would all connect really well, the three of us. And she's like, really?
Is
What?
Lynn Fiordon?
Yeah, Fiorentino. Yeah.
I've seen her name and I'm like, I love her comments. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to out with her too.
She's
So
hilarious. So I'm like, she's like, you know what, Sabrina, you should create a retreat for all of us to come to Montreal. Like we do a cottage and we all just sit and hang out and whatever. And I'm like, oh,
and
yeah.
we pay you X amount to
Yeah, yeah.
come. I think that's a great, I would come.
I know. I said, I know Laurie would come and I know you would come. And she's like, okay, that's enough. But like, who else needs to come? I'm like, okay.
Start with that. Let's start with
Yeah.
that, right?
So I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
good.
it would be nice. Because I think we have and we could do a whole podcast together, right?
Oh my God. It's like people watching. You want to come and be part of this? Come be part of this. Come on. We're just all, it's the rage.
Oh, French, just English. I'm kidding.
We're all going to Montreal. I
Anyway,
love it.
how are you doing?
I'm okay now. I was not okay I was so unstable for so long. When I
Okay.
got together with girlfriends recently, one of them really needed support from the rest of us. So I went as well. I wasn't prepared to be with people. I wasn't. And this friend, this best friend, she looks at me, she goes, "You don't want to be here." And I said, "I'm sorry, you're picking up on that." I said, I'm really enjoying being with the three of you. And she goes, "But you don't really want to be here right now, do you?" And I'm like,
No.
"Nope. I want to be in the woods. I want to go home." But I'm staying. And I stayed for a few more hours with them and then I did go home. But it's it's I was so unsettled. I've had my friends were looking at it going, "Last time I saw you, you seem really unstable." I'm like, "Yep, absolutely I am." And I don't know when. And they're like, "Well, you shouldn't isolate and you shouldn't do this." I said, "I am consciously processing my grief in the way that works for me."
Exactly.
And I've shut so many people down saying, because some people said I'm doing it wrong. I'm like, "No,
Wow.
yeah." Like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't." Or my ex, my third husband, he actually said, if you didn't say that you were gonna do blah blah blah, I was gonna come up and get you out of that house. And I'm like, "Oh fuck. Good thing I don't have a gun because I would have fucking shot you, you fuck." Like, don't you ever force me to do another goddamn fucking thing again. Thank you very much, fuckface. And he actually came to visit me
Wow.
after having come to visit my sister and brother-in-law here. And I had given permission for him to come one time. He has not come here. I've not given permission since I left him 4 years ago. And he never could understand that. And I'm like, "This is my safe place. This is my safe place. Nobody comes down that camp road unless I know about it." And so I gave permission for him to come and visit. He stayed a night here with my sister. I was upstairs, whatever, I was away from them. But and it's not that I don't like him. He's not a bad person, but I don't want to be with him for any length of time. He irritates me.
Yeah.
He just, because there's so much history, he just irritates me. And I said, and my sister was like, "Well, thank you for letting him come because that made it so much easier. We were so busy and he helped do some work." And I'm like, "Yep, yep." And I said, "As long as this is it." And then we invited him to come back for the 4th for my brother's celebration of life on the 4th of July. And he took it upon himself last week to stop by. And he's like, "Hey." And I said, "Why are you here?" And he said, "Oh, well, you mentioned you needed more newspaper for the fire and I got your rhubarb, but I said I would catch up with you sometime this weekend. I didn't know you were coming down this camp road." "Yeah, but I'm here now. So, do you want me to?" I said, "I actually need you to leave." And he said, "What?" And I said, "This was not prearranged. Nobody comes down that camp road without my permission. This was not pre." He goes, "Oh, do you want me to just leave the stuff at the top of the road then?" And I was seeing old George come out. I said, "I don't need anything from you. You can go now." And
Wow.
he left. He was pissed. And I was shaking all over. My whole body was shaking. I'm like, boundaries. Like, he crossed my fucking bound. Like, so reach out to my life coach. I'm like, and she goes, "Where are you feeling in your body? Blah, 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 whatever. Self-regulate. Could get back on, like, tip me back up so I'm balanced again." And I wrote to him, I go, "You don't know me anymore. You don't know how I tick." And I said, "I am super clear about things now. And if people don't listen, they get that response from me. I don't pretend to be nice.
Mhm.
I won't. And then the consequences are I'm not nice. And now you're upset.
But
I'm
that's
not
would be
responsible."
and
Yep. So
wasn't it wasn't George that you met in Boston when you went Oh, I was, okay, you did see
It
him.
was, and so some people might think, well, what's the big deal? You went to see him. Like, what's you talked about even traveling with him, and you stayed the night at his house in an extra room, and he pays for meals when you go out. I'm like, yeah. And they're
Okay.
like, well, it was, so he should. Why wouldn't he assume that he? Like, no, no, my boundaries are clear.
Mm.
Nobody's gonna fuck with those boundaries. I'm
So
like,
right now
no,
you're staying in a camper?
no, I'm not. No, I'm. This is where I am right now. So this is our camp, like down below.
Good name, man. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
And then
Gorgeous.
and I live in this house here, which is,
Oh, nice.
yeah. And I have my gardens. I've got gardens that I'm growing here, and yeah.
So,
So
but when you rent
you
it out, you rent
come,
out where you live?
no, down below.
Okay, so there you're always living in that house.
So this place is available if you ever come here.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter if we, except that it wouldn't be as much fun if we couldn't go down below and enjoy the water and all that. But this is my home. It's own.
Have an extra room for me.
Yeah, we have 4 beds here.
Woo!
Yeah.
Totally.
So,
I should totally come down.
well, think about it. September is my favorite time of year here.
Yeah, I would come September probably.
September is cooler and there are no bugs, like the mosquitoes are not, you know what I mean? And the lake calms down. It's not as many people on the lake, it's not so busy. And right now we don't have any renters for September, so chances are there will be, especially if you come midweek, if you can do something like that or whatever, then that would
drive.
or, you know, fly to Bangor or something and I'll pick you up.
No. That's good. Okay. Oh, that would be nice. I would love that actually. I might
Yeah.
do that.
I would welcome your visit,
Oh,
especially September at the end when everything is calmer and like most of the guests have already come and gone, and
yeah,
so
because it's nice there in Maine till like October.
yeah, late October.
Can you swim? No.
September it'd be even kind of chilly, but I mean no, it's early September's fine. That's
I
fine.
don't want to swim. I don't care. I just want to chill. Yeah.
But I mean we could go out in a canoe or we could do whatever, you know,
Okay.
or we hang and have a glass of wine. You know, we don't have to do anything.
I will put that actually in my notes
Okay.
as a possibility because it won't be so extravagant for me to do that.
No, it just be the gas. And then I will take care of all the food and everything when you get here. We'll go out for a dinner or something. And you know I have money. You treated me, so I'll treat you.
Whatever. It's not that, right? I did it for pleasure and you, yeah.
Same thing for me too. So that's a way also that, you know,
Maybe I could see Jake.
hopefully I've had sex with him by now.
Yeah.
By September. But yeah. When he shaved off that beard, I'm like, I had no idea you were so pretty under there.
You like the beard though? Yeah.
Oh, I did like the beard, but I had no idea. I thought maybe it was hiding a weak face or something. And then this beautiful, strong face comes out. I'm like, hey now.
Hey now, how old are his children?
He is I think 26 and 24, I think. And then he has a 5-year-old.
Holy cow. He was a child when he got married.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Laurie's got to teach him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, fun? My beautiful.
All right. It's really good.
Amazing to see you. Yeah.
It's so good to see you too, my friend.
Thanks so much for your comments and all that, your support. You're like awesome.
If you want me to tone it down, let me know. But I do get pretty excited about what you guys talk about. So.
Oh man. And
okay.
My price is Canadian, by the way, right? You know
that? No, I did not know. So I'll whatever. Oh, whatever. Okay.
So
whatever.
You can gain on it because it's so bad, the dollar now.
Or you know what? Maybe I'll be like $2.95 is $2.95. Doesn't make a difference to me, and you'll get paid a little extra this time. How about that? How about that'll be your tip?
Anyway, I just want you to know that because I don't want to.
Thank you. I would not have remembered, but okay. All right. Well, Love you.
I love you
Please
too.
tell Katerina I think she's amazing too.
I-
I love it.
Good. So you like the way there's two different views. Like even though we kind of have the same kind of views, right? But
Well, no, but there's subtle differences and just the like interpretations of even the cards, for example, the tarot card, like that. It's like, well, I think of the Empress is this, or I think of that, and so it's thought provoking.
yeah,
And then I got my tarot deck where I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but all right, I'll throw a few of these out, and I'm like, hey, now maybe this means this, maybe this means this, and I'm learning. I think
yeah.
what you guys great.
Okay, good. I'm happy. Okay.
All right, I'll
So
talk to you later.
enjoy. I love you.
All right, love you too. Bye.
Bye.